This video will show you how to weed out pieces of your vinyl that you do not want in your final image. I'll also talk about the reason why a weed box around your image is important, and I'll also discuss the differences between a positive and negative image. All of these points are important to understand when you start working with vinyl images. So at this point you have your cut image from your vinyl cutter in front of you, like I do here. I'm not sure if the camera can pick this up, but there are actually, it's not just a piece of black vinyl, there are images cut and weed boxes on it. You'll see in just a second. You will need a X-Acto knife. These are very, very sharp, so be very careful when you're using them. And normally the first step is we want to remove all of the vinyl outside of your image, and if you've used weed boxes around your image, this becomes very easy. What I'm going to do is I normally start up in one of the corners and I just help get underneath, and then I'm going to peel back at a low angle parallel to the table that I'm working with. And you want to make sure you don't go too quick, because sometimes what you want to stay down will come up if you go too quick. And you can see I'm just removing the excess vinyl. And what you're left with now are three rectangles, or what appear to be three rectangles. These rectangles are referred to as weed boxes. And inside of these weed boxes, again, the camera may not pick it up, but you'll see in just a second, are text. And they're going to allow, the weed boxes allow us to work on each individual image separately. Now, what you want to do is you want to determine what part of the image do you want. Do you want the positive or the negative? And if it's the positive you want, all you're going to do is you're going to remove the box around your image. In this case, it's some text. So I'm just going to go up and use my knife point again, and I'm going to peel back at a low angle. And you're watching with your eyes. This isn't a spot or a time where you want to be in a rush. You can see here that the inside of the G isn't really coming too easy. I can do one of two things. I can either help it come up with my knife point, or I can come back to it later. If sometimes the knife might not be sharp in your cutter, and if there's a part of your vinyl that isn't cut, well, you have a knife in your hand, you can help it. So there, and now I'm going to go back and just remove the insides of the letters that I need to remove. And this would be referred to as the positive of your image. If it's the negative of the image you're looking for, or the opposite, what you would end up doing is you'd remove the actual letters and you'd leave the actual rectangle or box around it. So that's what I'm going to do now. Again, just using my knife tip to start the peeling process. And again, you're going slow, you're not in a rush. You just want to start right at the edge of a letter and peel back. You can use your knife if you lift something up that isn't supposed to come up. You can help it back down. You can see that inside of the A wanted to come up. And what you're left with here would be the negative, or the exact opposite of what's above. Now, this process that I've just shown you is just with text, but the exact same process works for more complex images, shapes, or objects. The most important thing you want to remember is what part of the image do you want to keep, what part of the image do you want to get rid of. Now, I've talked about the importance of a weed box, but I want to show you what happens when you don't have one. And I have the exact same text here in front of you, no weed box around the letters. So I'm going to start in the corner, just to peel up. And again, we're going to peel at a low angle. And now you'll notice you're peeling all three images at once. And depending on how many images you have on a page, this can get very complicated, and you can kind of get into trouble if any of this vinyl that you're wanting to remove and throw out, if it comes in contact with the letters that you want to stay on your substrate, you can get in a big mess here. So it's just a better idea that you put weed boxes around each image that you have, and it just allows you more flexibility you're not working everything at once. This is actually working because my knife is sharp in my cutter, but you can see if you had a complex image, you'd be weeding 3 images at once. And it's probably not the best tactic, especially when you're learning. So that's the reason why we use weed boxes or a rectangle around each image. You can do each one at a time and pay attention to each. Okay, so at this stage, your image is ready to be transferred to another substrate or medium. And what I mean by that is it's ready to be, like a wall. You can transfer this to a wall or a side of a machine or a binder, right? You can put this anywhere. I will show you how to do that properly using Premask in the next video. Thanks for watching.